Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel if you've been before. So I wanted to do, I actually already did this video. I did an unboxing of this deck yesterday. And then during the unboxing, I was looking at the cards and I was like, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, and I realized I was doing it a complete disservice because I didn't know enough about the cards. So anyway, I was sitting there the last night and today looking through some of the cards and the descriptions and just sitting with them for a while. And this is such an amazing deck, and I wanted to redo the video as not an unboxing but as a kind of walkthrough and review of the deck. So I'm in a bit of an awkward position here because my cat has stolen my chair, and everybody knows you can't move cats once they've got your chair. I'll just show you. Anyway, he's stolen my chair, so I'm sitting on a very small chair, so I hope I'm going to be able to manage the cards properly. But yeah, basically I ordered this oracle a while ago, and it arrived a couple of days ago. And the first thing I want to say is this is an amazing bargain. It's $20 including international shipping. I have no idea how they make that a viable price because that's so cheap. And yeah, it's 59 cards, and it's by where's the info? Rabbit's Moon Tarot. It's actually from a collaboration called Cult of Tarot Forum. Cult of Tarot Forum. So it sounded like a really interesting thing, and sadly it's not still going. But basically this is a collaborative deck, and yeah, it's an absolutely gorgeous oracle. And I know some people don't like collaborative decks, so that was something I was aware of when I bought it, that it was a collaborative deck. And I was interested. I like collaborative decks, the ones that I've had so far. I don't have a problem with them. But I thought an oracle anyway is less risky than a tarot, because if there's a card in the deck that you don't like, then you can obviously just remove it. It's not a system in the same way that tarot is, where you have to have a 2, 3, 4 of swords. So you could just take out a card if you didn't like it for whatever reason. But I've been through every card and there's no cards I don't like. I like all of them. So that's nice. Yeah, and there's 59 cards for $20. It's just insane. Anyway, so yeah, and they've got other decks on their website as well. They've got a really nice looking Lenormand called Friar's Delight Lenormand, which now I want to go and buy, which is also only $25. It's just mad. So yeah, I'm quite tempted about that one. But yeah, this deck was made during the coronavirus pandemic, and it seems to have been instigated at the start of the pandemic. So it was like early 2020, when everybody was locked down and it was just all a complete nightmare. I think most of us have blanked that period of our lives, but yeah, it was crazy times. So I've seen elsewhere this has been described as a tool to navigate. It's here. Star and Crown Oracle is a deck of 59 cards to help you navigate and make the most of these interesting times. So it refers a little bit to coronavirus, and the name Star and Crown Oracle is linked to that, which I'll show you in a minute. But I mean, the idea that it came out of the coronavirus pandemic, I mean, we're still living in crazy times, right? So I've found that these cards are really uplifting and relevant today as well, because of the crazy times we're living in. And yeah, I love this. I love the cards. I love this deck. So what I want to do, so each card, this is the little booklet that it comes with, and I went through the booklet and read about all the cards. Yeah, this is Joan Marie who curated the deck, presumably. So each card comes with like a short description, and then it also talks about the medium that the art was produced in, which I think is really really nice to know as well. I mean, there are a lot of there's traditional medium acrylic paint on canvas, and then there are quite a few digital images as well. But I mean, obviously this isn't AI, and there's a difference between digital art and AI. And I mean, I know this is being talked about a lot at the moment, so maybe I'll just say quickly. So with digital images, basically the artist creates in a digital platform. So for example, on Procreate, but you know, you're actually drawing on that digital platform. You're creating the art as you would create with any other medium. A digital collage, you'd be like selecting images and putting them together kind of manually, and you know, there's a creative process. Whereas with AI, it's usually that you just write some prompts and put them into a machine, which then creates the art. So the artist is removed from the actual kind of creative process. So yeah, these images are art, they're not AI. So yeah, that's a nice part of the booklet, is that we always get the an explanation of the medium that the artist used as well. And oh yeah, I wanted to show you just what she said about. It was Nemia who pointed out that the word corona could mean star or it could mean crown. The sly reference to the topic that was the common thread of the times was irresistible. So this is star and crown. That's the name of the oracle. Plus together they also sound like the name of a great pub. The Star and Crown, I'd go. So yeah, that was the theme that all of the artists were responding to, and we'll see that as we go through the cards. And it brings the deck together in a really, really nice way. And yeah, it presents a common theme that runs through all of the images. So we will see that. So what I want to do is do a flip through, but then also just pull out one or two of the cards that really appeal to me, and I'll talk about them a bit more and read the information from the guidebook. Okay. This is card number 1. So there's the number at the bottom, no subtitle. So this is Spirit of Draco Protection by Penelope Klein. And this was an image, it was created digitally. And yeah, you can see the dragon there has a crown of stars and another star there on his like crown chakra. If dragons have crown chakras. It's gorgeous. This one is called All, and it's by Machina Graphic Design. And the artist says, depending on your mood, this can mean several things on different days. And the medium is a brazography, which they say is a self-developed printing process, derived from decalcomania, which I've never heard of any of that, but it's cool. This is called Moldavite, based on the crystal, by Karina Nawani. This is Your Path by Nemia. Oh, that was a fine liner drawing, sorry. It was a fine liner drawing which turned into a watercolor collage. Beautiful, I think. This you can see is a collage. This is by Lorraine Matthews, and it's called The Nature of Time. This is Radiant Being by Ariana Siegel. I like this one. See those birds also opening their arms above her. So this one, I'll just read it because it's quite short. It says, open to the radiance of all things. Spread your arms and open your heart to light and joy. Go into the sun wherever you are and allow its life-enhancing warmth to permeate body and soul. There's sacredness in all things. Slow down and notice the moments, savor beauty, commune with nature. It's there in city parks and sidewalks as well as deep forests. Wherever you are, be. Just notice. Go slowly and fill with radiant joy. It's always there for you, in you. And that they said it's a digital collage. So yeah, if you remember those early days of coronavirus when we were all locked in and you went out and there was nobody around and you walked through a city park and the silence reminds me of that. This is beautiful. I love it. So there's only two that are horizontal rather than vertical. This one and the next one, and they're both by an artist called Lindsay Mercury. This is called Born with the Moon in Cancer, and it's paper and collage. Amazing. And this by the same artist is called Ode to Maud, and it's linked to the movie Harold and Maude. And apparently Maud in that movie has a penchant for sunflowers. So the sunflower here is linked to the crown. Oop. This is called Work in Progress. So you can see she's got jigsaw pieces on her face. And again, she's wearing a crown. This is digital photo manipulation and original art. Sorry, the title is Work in Progress. It's by Arwen Flowing Spirit. And the message says, our lives are constantly evolving and changing. What we need to learn is that even though we're not done achieving our final form, we're perfect where we are right now. So some of the messages are more kind of open if you drew them in a reading, and some of them are more kind of directed. I haven't read with it yet, so I want to do that at the end when I've been through the cards. This is called Hope. I love this one, and there's another one by the same artist. So this is Hope by Shiloh Lewis from Kuptilu Art and Tarot, and it's watercolour pens and various other things, Sharpie. This is called Dreamweaver by Pamela Steele. She did that on a drawing tablet, Photoshop CS6 with a drawing tablet. This is Queen of Infinite Space, so you can see Nut or Nui is also for night, is the goddess, the Egyptian goddess of the night. Whatever difficulties you're experiencing are also opportunities to heal. See, a lot of the cards are very, very positive. There's a few sort of, less positive or sadder ones, I suppose, but most of the cards are really positive. This is so cool. So this is called Dire Predicament. Sorry, the previous one was Queen of Infinite Space by Fabula Ellis. This is Dire Predicament by Riol. And it says, whatever dire predicament scared this fine lady, there's a good gentleman by her side ready to support and reassure her that everything will be all right. And I think it gives more information. Yeah, so the card was inspired by an original art poster created by Penelope Klein with an image from the American film The Fortune Teller with Marjorie Rambeau and an unidentified actor. And then it's also got Mona Lisa up in the top right and The Scream by Edvard Munch in the top left. And then this is the crown of Christian V, which is here to say this lady may be a queen herself, but she'll still need a break from all important royal duties from time to time. or else ghosts may start dancing all over the wallpaper, which I think is quite fun. Oh, and she finishes with this quote: "By the power of this protective recital, may my misfortunes due to stars, demons, harmful spirits, and ominous planets be prevented and destroyed." And that apparently comes from the Maya Jaya Mangala Gatha, or the Great Verses of Auspicious Victory, which is an exorcistic sutra. I think it's absolutely fabulous. This is number 14, Radiance by Ariana Siegel. So this is, obviously, it's a queen crowned with stars, so she must be a star. She's kind of sitting on a pile of stars, and there are stars behind her. And yeah, she's wearing a crown of stars as well. And this is apparently Josephine Baker, who was an extremely talented performing artist. And she was a mixed race woman born in poverty. In her younger years, she became homeless for a time, but her radiant spirit was never quelled, and she achieved fame and fortune with her considerable talent. She was the first black woman to star in a major film in 1927, and she refused to perform for segregated audiences in the United States, and she went to Europe, where she became a huge star and was widely adored. So yeah, this is a star card. And the meaning is express your radiance. It's gorgeous. This is a nice one as well. Adoration by Paula Millett from Boadicea Design. Digital collage. Oh, and I love these. So this is the chakras. It's number 16. It's called Energy by Sheila Lewis. Yeah, we had another one by them earlier. Kuptilu Art and Tarot. What can you gain by cleaning your chakras? Energy flows up from our root to our crown. When our chakras are clear, the energy flows freely. Oftentimes, our energy is affected by the negative energy of the world around us, causing our chakras to become blocked. When this happens, the blocked energy manifests itself in the form of physical ailments. This card tells you you're in need of an energy cleanse today. So see, that's quite a direct one, that if you got it in a reading, you'd have practical steps to take. So that's watercolour pens, Stabilo, All, spray ink, and Sharpie. This is Identity, The Face You Wear by Penelope Klein. This is Manopause or Menopause. And I can't quite make out the details, which is kind of cool, but I love this. It's so interesting. This is oil on canvas, and then the stars are digital. Oh, did I say that's by Christine Gorman, Visionary Woman Tarot. This is Epiphany by Owen Flowing Spirit. This is Signs and Omens. I love this one, by Ariana Siegel. So yeah, this is called Signs and Omens. Answers can appear anywhere and everywhere if you're receptive. It's the small things, coincidences, dreams, that repeating song, images in clouds, words you might notice. So many things are clues to what you seek. Behind every situation, as confusing and daunting as it may seem, there is meaning. It may not be immediately apparent, but take a step back, look closer into the shadows, and a larger picture will appear. Those shadows are spooky. There's like a tall, thin lady there, and somebody lying on a table, I think. Ooh, it's kind of spooky. Look closer into the shadows and a larger picture will emerge. Truth waiting to be uncovered and embraced. And this kind of reminds me of the High Priestess, with her cape. The mysteries, the inner mysteries, and the water in the back there. Gorgeous. Okay, I've got a spider alert. Sorry, anyone who doesn't like them, jump forward. I think this is really cool. The Spinner by Paula Millett. Gorgeous. She's got stars in her web and a crown. This is called Addiction. And this is so fabulous. The text just says, put your phone in your pocket and take a look around, which I think is brilliant. And then you've got the Queen walking her corgi. And then at the back there, if we can focus, that is the Star and Crown pub on the corner, which is so cool. And there's a shooting star above. It's very fun. And that's by Penelope Klein. This one, I think this is the whole reason I bought this deck, because I was looking for decks that featured Ariadne. And this is called the Corona Borealis by Eve Lepkowski, Eve Lepkowski. And this, it says, this picture is inspired by the story of Ariadne's crown. And I think that's the stars, the circular stars on the disc in the back, which lit away into the subterranean labyrinth, the basis of the constellation Corona Borealis, the Northern Crown, which is that constellation there in the centre. The Minotaur lurking in the maze is a strong metaphor for dread, something part human and part bestial waiting to spring and devour. The Minotaur is also Ariadne's half-brother. I actually didn't know that. Their connection is visualised in the roots and mycelium that winds through the labyrinth. Ariadne and the Minotaur can no more distance from each other than we can untangle roots from the soil or pull out the tiny bacteria and fungi that weave their homes in our own bodies. The Minotaur jewellery, and that's the nose ring. I don't know if you can see that. The camera's not picking it up very well. But the Minotaur jewellery is the well-known self-devouring serpent, and then Ariadne wears a double-headed serpent. If the two heads pull in different directions, they will cancel each other into strained deadlock. And I think that is an absolutely fantastic card. I love it. There's kind of archways in the back you can see, and yeah, I think this is absolutely brilliant. I love the colours. And I think that's why I picked up the deck, yeah, because I was looking for things about Ariadne at the time. And I just came across this. This is beautiful as well. It's called The Living Web by Natalia Alforti. And this, also the front of the deck, I think, is one of the reasons I picked it up, because I do love a Plague Doctor. This is called Harvest of Change. And there's a crowned raven, the Raven King, sitting on a pumpkin. I love it. It's so cool. This is really interesting. So this is called The Twin Star, and it's by Abraxas. Oh, I forgot to say the last one, The Harvest of Change, was by Ariana Siegel as well. This is by somebody called Abraxas, Tarot Philosopher, Metamagic Matrix. And it's card number 26. So it says the Twin Star. I'll show you the booklet for this one. So the Twin Star shows a special numbering of the Pythagorean tetractys that has magical properties. It's similar to the chakra or Sephiroth system. It's emanated in 2 circuits around the following arrangement. So you start from the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then you do it in reverse. 1, 2, yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And it's mirrored. It says energy is drawn down and circulated through the numbers in order from 1 to 10. First in one direction, then the other, as shown in the 2 mirrored triads above. The result is 10 spheres connected by 19 paths. There's an unnumbered Shakti stream between 10 and 1. The edges each add up to 17, the number of the star, and the number of the star in tarot, and the 3 vertical pillars each total 11. This figure was shown to me by the alchemist Richard Voss, aka Mithros, in 2002 EV. Its purpose is to teach us how to become stars. Our star crowns us. Abrahadabra. In divination, this card means the achievement of brilliant and sound insights through the alchemy of opposites, which I think is pretty cool. Pen and ink, photo manipulation, and you've got their Instagram. I think that's very cool. My dog is here and she wants her breakfast. Give me 1 second. Okay, you can see I'm pretty much dictated to by animals here. Just gonna have a sip of coffee. Okay, this one is called Pinnacle by Paula Millett. I love this. You have achieved your earthly goals. You're at the pinnacle, it says. From this lofty vantage point, look around and see what's next. Could it be another project, a life change, or a spiritual quest? Perhaps even the opportunity to share your wisdom and experience with others who may be following in your footsteps. And there's all the little snails following behind. It's gorgeous. A bit creepy with a snail with a human head, but still. This is called Butterfly Effect by Rial, and it's a digital painting. It says digital painting effect and photo manipulation in GIMP, which is a program on Surface 3 and Pen. And the resources that they used: public domain photos from Pixabay, free to use without attribution. See, so this is, they're making the point that differentiates this from AI. They're using public domain photos that are okay to use without attribution. And one of the problems with AI is that it uses artists' images without attribution, and those images they're not necessarily public domain. So yeah, that's in the booklet. This is Wild Spirit by Ariana Siegel. And there's an owl there in the background by the moon. I think it's an owl. She's got a crown under her veil. And there's a single star there in the tree. Yeah, it's like the theme is really consistent, and I really think it pulls the deck together as well. This is Dark Angel by Ariana Siegel. This is really cool. So it reminds me of the High Priestess card. She's hanging over a city. Beautiful. And there, the rose in the back is the crown, blue rose crown, surrounded by galaxies and cosmic dust. This is Astrea by Cheryl Fair, based on the Greek myth of Astrea. This is an interesting one. It says, Astrea was a goddess of justice and sometimes called Star Maiden. She was the last of the immortals to live with humans on Earth, and when she became disgusted with humanity's wicked behaviour, she ascended to the heavens to become a star in the constellation Virgo. In an astrological chart, the asteroid Astrea represents moral values, reasoning and good judgment. In a natal chart, the placement of Astrea indicates how we weigh up the options and choose the best course for action for us that fits our moral values and beliefs. Drawing this card would indicate that it's time to make a choice, to stay within a situation that we find broken and possibly morally repugnant and attempt to fix it, or abandon a situation that's gotten out of control to take a higher road. And again, they've pointed out the medium: painting, photography and digital manipulation. Combination of my own painting and photography with a few public domain images put together in Photoshop. This is called Exploding Star by Joe B. And this is watercolour and ink. Beautiful. Sea of Dreams by Nimia. And this is The Eye of God by the same artist, Nimia. And they're both fine liner drawings with watercolour and collage. This is The Eye of God. This is called Polaris. It's a digital collage. This is called Astral Travel by Karina Nawani. See, there are no images that I don't like. I like all the images. It's amazing, actually. This is called Abracadabra. I love this one. It says, Abraxas is the original force behind the creation of our solar system. Their name represents the 7 classical planets. They hold infinite power and possibilities. Their shield is of wisdom and their whip is of power. They represent foresight and vigilance, innocence and understanding. They're both good and evil, light and dark, benevolent and malevolent. They bring both creation and destruction. Abracadabra, I will create, I will destroy. That's digitally illustrated and painted using a Wacom tablet. Wacom. Oh, this is gorgeous. Look at that. Surrender Birthing Ecstasy by Julianne Victoria. This is about surrendering the ego, and they talk about the 2 chakras, so the solar plexus and the crown chakra. It's another digital collage. Gorgeous. And this is called Crown Chakra. And it's based on the Om. And apparently the colours purple, magenta and white are associated with the crown chakra. Om or Om is the first sound on earth, according to Hindu scriptures, the first sound on earth and a healing sound with very high vibrations. Anyone who's done any meditation of that kind. I keep forgetting to say the names. Okay, this was by Karina Nawani, who she's done another one of the paintings. This is Trust, Penelope Klein. This is lovely as well. She says, in the fragmented landscape of a now alien world, a giant seagull swoops to accept a morsel of food from the upraised hand of a girl. And it's silk screen printing. Beautiful. This is by Joan Marie, who's the person who created or curated the deck and brought the artists together. And this is somebody called Shauna. And she used an image of her because of what she exemplifies to Joan Marie. She says the way she lives her life, what it is to navigate the space in between the earthy and the ethereal, and to do it with grace, heart and a wicked humour. And the art is based on a selfie that Shauna provided. I think that's really very cool. Oh, this is one of my favourites. As Above, So Below by Fabiola Ellis. Baphomet represents the unique polarity in life and signs the hermetic concept of the microcosm versus the macrocosm, how both the intellectual and the physical, the spiritual and the material worlds reflect in on each other forever. They balance the 4 elements, air, fire, water and earth within ourselves, or within themselves. Baphomet reminds us to look within, to reflect on what may be imbalanced. Kindness and love can go hand in hand with power, strength and judgment. And again, it's a digital illustration. Amazing. The crown, the chakra stars behind, and the snakes, the crown chakra, the solar plexus, Kundalini. Amazing. This is called Queen of Dreams by Ariana Siegel. She's got a few cards in here actually, I think. Again, it's beautiful. The Aurora Borealis, I think, at the back. It's a digital collage. And she's wearing a crown of stars. She has stardust on her shirt, on her robes, or whatever. I love this one too, Cathedral at Sunset, and it's photographs that the artist took. Lindsay Mercury is the artist. This is called Courage by Pamela Steele. And this is called Medusa with Roses. You can see snakes coming from her hair at the top. And it's a collage and pencil, so I think she did the pencil drawing of the face. This is Little Wing. There's two by this artist and they're really interesting. I don't want to make this go on for ages though. But I'm going to read you this one because I love it. It says, here's a fun question for you. This is Lauren S. Brenner, openarted.com, and it's called Little Wing. Here's a question for you. Are you making enough time for fun? Or are you so bogged down in adulting that you often forget to enjoy the rewards of all that labour? As G.K. Chesterton wrote back in 1908, angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. See what happens if you stop taking yourself so seriously. You might be pleasantly surprised. The artwork for this card is a portion of a larger mixed media piece inspired by the Jimi Hendrix song Little Wing. And then they quote some lyrics. Well, she's walking through the clouds with a circus smile that's running wild. Butterflies and zebras and moonbeams and fairy tales. That's all she ever thinks about. Riding with the wind. Whatever the lyrics meant to Jimmy, for me they paint a picture of a beautiful, free-spirited soul flying playfully through magical skies. She's your ideal inner child and she's beckoning you to come out and play. And she says it's recycled vintage magazines, used books, acrylic paint, glue on canvas. Yeah, and I'm not a massive collage lover, but this one and the other one by the same artist in this deck are amazing. Apparently they're part of larger canvases, so I'd love to see the originals. This is called Emerge by Kehlani Parisho. This is called Resist. By, Lauren S. Brenner as well. Oh, and this is really interesting. This is called Knowledge by Attila Karpathy. Knowledge is not something given, but it's a process that's achievable by will and conscious effort. Knowledge, however, is a continually departing target, as more one wants to understand may feel like knows less. Learning is an ongoing and transcending process. The Bible mentions the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The Hebrew phrase translates as good and evil is an example of the type of figure of speech called merism. This literary device pairs opposite terms together to create a general meaning. Therefore, the phrase good and evil simply means everything. We will never know everything, but we can die trying. And so you've got the apples there from the tree of good and evil, and this is kind of representative of the tree and the night, I guess, and the day being good and evil. Sometimes the translations come out a bit weird. So it does translate the tree of knowledge of good and evil, or in Hebrew it's Etz Hadat Tovara. I can't pronounce Hebrew very well. The translation in Hebrew is correct as far as I can work out. So Etz is tree, Hada'at, and so Da'at is knowledge. It also means science, and the root is the same in Hebrew. the root for knowledge and science, the same. They share the same word root. And then, yeah, the apple apparently isn't mentioned in the Hebrew Bible anywhere. But the translation into Latin was translated as lignumque scientiae boni e mali, boni being good and mali being bad, where the Latin word for evil, malum, sounds almost the same as the Latin word for an apple, and that's why people think it's an apple tree. So yeah, apparently there are no apples in the Hebrew Bible in reference to the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Anyway, I thought that was really interesting, and it's kind of a cool card. This one is Long Distance Love by Laura S. Brenner. This is Sunrise Sunset by Ailsa Eck. And yeah, you've got obviously the infinity symbol there. It's quite a nice card, that, if you read it, but I'm not going to right now. This is Don't Look Back. That's another one by Lauren S. Brenner. And it's based on a Bob Dylan song, this one. And also, again, it's part of a larger picture. This is The Dance of Duality in the Universe. Gorgeous, by Andrew McGregor. Love that. And this is Retreat. This is one of the sort of sadder cards, or gentler cards even. It's Retreat by Keilani Perisho. It says, there are appropriate times to endure, to fight, to stand up for ourselves and others. There are also hurts too deep to endure without rest. Retreat into yourself and heal before picking back up. You are strong enough to know when you need rest and reflection. And this is by the same artist, I think, here. Keilani Perisho, and this is Release. So you've retreated and then you release. And this is, yeah, it's your choice when you're ready to share your deepest true self with the world. Both beautiful. Apparently she's created her own tarot deck called Tower Takeover Tarot. Sounds cool. I might check it out. This is Chasing the Moon by Kristin Morrill, and it's about an argument between the sun and the moon, which is quite a nice story as well. But this one, Hugin and Munin, Thought and Memory by Cheryl Fair. I love it. The ravens travel the world and see everything in both the sunlight and the night. They guide you while you're in a trance-like state. Use both logic and intuition to know the answer. Test your answer against what you know is true, and when it satisfies both your spirit and your logical mind, you've found the answer. Everything must work in all realms, as above, so below. And it's acrylic on canvas. And the final card, The Green Man by Kristin Morrill. The green man is a force of nature, vibrantly alive and ready to participate in living life to the fullest. He loves all living things and radiates a sense of energy, yet also a calm influence. He's a male aspect of Mother Nature, and that's watercolour on paper. So that is the deck, and I absolutely love it. I haven't done a reading with it yet, so what I'm going to do quickly is just shuffle and take a couple of cards. Okay, yeah, so the card I drew was the Hugin and Munin one, Thought and Memory, and it makes sense actually because it's about, there's a question that I do need answering, and it says use both logic and intuition to know the answer. So I need to test my answer against what I know is true, and when it satisfies my spirit and my logical mind, I've found the answer. So that is a nice card. Yeah, I'm going to see how the deck works in like daily draws. And anyway, I really recommend it. Oh, and I even forgot to mention the gorgeous colour on the edges of the cards. Isn't it beautiful? So yeah, $20 including shipping. Absolutely amazing, really interesting art and descriptions, and really uplifting, and I absolutely love it, and it really kind of goes with my what I'm looking for in decks at the moment, which is interesting artwork. And like I say, I like a collaborative deck anyway, but I do think the theme has brought this together in an amazing way. So check them out if you're interested, and thanks for watching, everybody, and have a nice weekend.